just like my father's a musician too. He started, he's a singer. He's still an arranger and a singer. He played many instruments, still plays them till this day. So I grew up with, electronics and instruments in the house. So DJing, naturally, I wanted to DJ first, and then that went from DJing to, working on drum boxes and synthesizers and, writing. So it's something that I was born into. But my start in the industry, I started through Bad Boy. I got my first placement on, I worked on Shyne's second album from Bad Boy.
Okay.
And
Godfather Buried Alive, right?
Yes, I did the Martyr record.
Okay.
And that's my introduction. Shout out to June Balloon. June Balloon actually found me on the street playing beats out of my homeboy's car, and that's how it started.
Definitely, man. And that's something. Of course,
and on the, hey, I ain't mean to cut you out. That was my phone. My bad.
No, go ahead, King. You good?
But ain't it dope? It's also dope seeing how Shyne came from that part to doing what he's doing now. Like now
yeah, that's incredible.
He's got to get another position of power, which is a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, it is, because he's definitely intelligent and he's for the people, and it just goes to show that you could have a rough time and you could get over it, and you can still make it right. Make things right. If you're down for the cause, then you're going to be down for the cause. You don't have to stop. And look what he did.
Definitely, man. I mean, becoming a politician in Belize, becoming a diplomat, a representative of his homeland. And, of course, with Bad Boy, we cannot, of course, forget the late, great Chucky Thompson of the Hitmen, who was part of that,
Rest in peace,
as well.
Chucky Thompson. Yes.
Yeah, man. What was it like during those days at Bad Boy in terms of, did you get to interact with everybody in addition to you being a guy coming in working as well? In terms of like, Harv Pierre, Chucky, Stevie J and all of them?
I met Harv Pierre. I never met Chucky or Stevie J, but I worked with Nasheem Myrick.
Right.
Jay Garfield. A lot of the other hitmen I met, Faith Evans, like I've worked there, so it was, that environment was at that time I was a kid. That's before I was like 18 or something like that. So I didn't even want to talk back then. Like I was afraid to talk, and because I was around people that I was in awe of, but it made it competitive because I wanted to be a hitman. That was my dream. I want to be as good as they are. I want to make those type of records. So it was a dope atmosphere. I never realized how dope it was until I talked about it. But yeah, it was just crazy. It was competitive, and I never looked at it like it wasn't something that I wasn't going to benefit off of. It was always a win to me, always. Even if I wasn't, on the Locks album or whatever, whatever I could make, it was good. I just took it and used it. So it was a great, and that was the 90s. So when I think about it now, I'm like, damn, I had a placement in the 90s. And that particular record, it wasn't no samples. So I was one of those kids that was making hip hop without the samples. That might have led to the placement also. Now that I think about it, but it was just a dope time.
Right. Yeah, man. And one thing about it, too, in terms of, sampling, in addition to it being very